Welcome back, Sooner fans, to the Sooner Surge, a little lunchtime chat with Hunter and Jason here. Make sure you're subscribed to the Sooner Surge YouTube channel, liking and commenting as you guys are doing. We're here today to talk about, I'm sure you've seen it, maybe you haven't, the Miguel Chavis tweet, the Dumb and Dumber reference, saying you're saying we have a chance. Be interested to hear what you guys think on this and kind of what his purpose in doing this was, guys.
Hunter, you go ahead and start.
Yeah, last night, Williams and Waney's in Oklahoma playing Union in the scrimmage on Thursday night, and he's wearing OU gloves and OU cleats. Had some interesting comments in the post-game interviews. The headline from John Hoover over at All Sooners is he's going to let everything play out. So not kind of the words you would expect to hear from a guy who just committed to another school to say, let everything play out still. That kind of, I mean, in my mind, that really implies that his recruitment is still open. And we've, some of the guys on the Sooner Surge have had beliefs that he might just take the money and then run after that. So that Missouri NIL could definitely be the reason for that commitment.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter, I saw the picture of him in the gloves and the cleats and everything last night at the scrimmage, and saw a lot of OU fans on Twitter talking about it. And then you get the Chavis tweet. My personal opinion is this is Chavis kind of throwing it out there after he saw the gloves and the cleats on, basically saying, "Oh, you're saying there's a chance, William." I don't think there's anything else other than that on this. And I know y'all have talked about the chances of him coming to OU still, but the way he answered the questions last night, I've heard a lot of people say, "Ooh, look at that! There's a chance he's." Guys, nothing is done until it's signed. I don't think that's breaking news that he answered it that way. What do you want him to say? I'm 100% fully committed to Missouri. No, he's not going to say that, because then if he does end up flipping at the end, he's going to get so much backlash for that. So I think that's the only way to answer. And I think a lot of times, I mean, you look at today and yet last night on Twitter, and then the day after Chavis' tweet, I'm going to use another Dumb and Dumber reference. And that's when they give the little bird to the little blind boy, and he's rubbing the bird saying, pretty bird, pretty bird. I think a lot of times OU fans are maybe a little bit blinded, and in the fact that they move with the wind, man. One little thing is said, and they're like, "Oh boy, I think Nwaneri's coming to OU."
Well, Jay, one thing where I would disagree with you is Williams Nwaneri could have 100% said, I'm committed to the University of Missouri, and he'd have been justified in doing so, because that doesn't lead anyone on to say I'm 100% committed to the University of Missouri. He's still leaving it open to change, but the way he did last night, and I think that's kind of why Chavis sent this, is it was more, I think, more directed to Williams Nwaneri and how he answered it. And basically, coach is saying, I heard your answers, so you're saying there's a chance. That's kind of what I took that as.
Yeah, he did say at the end that he's committed, not 100% committed. He just said, I am committed to Missouri, though. But before that, he said OU staff is still recruiting him heavily. Like, that's worth noting. The staff hasn't given up, so it kind of makes sense that Chavis puts out that tweet, because the staff isn't throwing in the white flag just yet on Williams Nwaneri. They're going to keep on pursuing him probably all the way up till National Signing Day in February.
Well, and I mean, I think that's something that this staff's been there a year now. That's something that you can know by this staff is they're not going to give up. Just go back to Peyton Bowen. You can even go back. I mean, last year with DJ Hicks, I mean, it was up until the last minute. I mean, so I don't think this staff will ever give up on any player until they're signed. I just think that's kind of, if they got a guy they really want, they're going to keep going after him. So I know, Hunter, you're a little more pro of, you think he is still a pretty good chance he could come to OU. I'm kind of a little bit on the other side. I just don't see it happening.
And look, I would say to all Sooner fans right now, the Nwaneri thing, he can make that decision closer to signing day. I don't think as Sooner fans we need to be even worried about Williams Winair right now because there's a whole lot of other guys right here in front of us that are about to make commitment decisions. And the Winair thing that'll be available all the way up to signing day. Right now, I think you got to go really focus on, and I think that's really what the coaches are doing, is focusing on these other guys right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got Stone coming up, and obviously Okoye in October and November. You got Nigel Smith, I think September 8th. Is that right?
Yeah.
McKinley, September 1st. So there is a lot of other guys out there right now. I did find it interesting. He did wear the OU stuff last night, but I think at the same time, I think I said it on our last video. I mean, if you have that gear from schools you've visited, you're going to wear it. I mean, right? I mean, it's good gear, man. I mean,
didn't it kind of match their uniform too?
It does, but again, I do think it is interesting to wear it when you just committed to another school over that school 4 days ago or 3 days ago on Thursday,
hey,
on Monday.
Let me ask you this though. If you're a Missouri fan right now, you talk about a long 5 months or whatever this is going to be. The Missouri fans, they can't. I mean, I know they're so excited they got a commitment from him, but at the same time, that's a long time till he actually signs. They're going to go with every loss they have. They're going to be thinking, oh shoot, if they lose a game, they're going to be like, oh, shouldn't have lost that game. Maybe Nwaneri's going to leave. I mean, there's a lot going into this.
And it couldn't happen to a more deserving fan base than Mizzou. Cannot stand them.
I agree with that after attending the game back when Chase Daniel played, the night game where I got spit on a bus. Yeah, Missouri fans would deserve every bit of that. But yeah, drop your comments, guys, as Sooner fans here in the chat on the Williams Nwaneri thing. It seems like we've talked about this so much, but you have things like the tweet that came out today. People are continuing to fuel this conversation. We're not coming up and concocting this conversation on our own. We're just basing it off on what we've seen on Twitter. So I would like your guys' reactions as well. We'll be hitting up some more content later. Make sure you're subscribed to the Sooner Surge. Till next time, guys. Boomer.